All right, we're back. It's the Casa de Cavazos. Nathan in Westaco, Texas. Justin in Chicago. Ada in Harlingen, Texas, providing that Tejano connection to reality. I'm sorry I'm late, guys. I got caught up at, would you believe it, Taco Bell.
In the bathroom.
What? You eat at Taco
This is a
Bell?
recent development. It's because we're going to go to the Renaissance
Okay.
Fair this weekend, and it's right across from the hardware store that sells discounted tickets. And it was just like, well, it's around dinner time. Might as well grab something and try it out. But we were sitting there for like, it felt like over half an hour for the order. Because I think maybe like three people were working there. The drive-through was all backed up, so they're prioritizing the drive-through. And there's just a bunch of people waiting for food in there. All just so I could have this chicken chalupa.
Was
It
it
was
good?
okay. Once I put the Diablo sauce on it, it was better.
Yeah. It is weird to eat at Taco Bell when you live in Chicago because there are Mexican options in
Yeah.
Chicago. I used to eat at Taco Bell when I lived in Philly because they don't really have Mexican food, or at
Yeah.
least they didn't back then.
But Taco Bell's not even that cheap.
What is now?
I mean, I haven't gone there in many years.
What is cheap? I don't know.
Sorry, I got a little bit distracted. Cooper Flag just threw a ridiculous slam in transition.
What's the game?
Lakers against Mavs Summer League.
Summer League?
Yeah, and then he followed that up with a really nice shot. I don't know. Looks pretty good.
So the league is done. There's been some conversation about how the draft was potentially fixed for Dallas to get that after the whole Anthony Davis Luka trade. Do you buy it?
Yeah. I don't know. The NBA has done some weird things when some of these trades have happened or when franchise players have gone away. Like I think, was it the Cavs? Didn't they win the lottery like when LeBron left?
Yeah.
I think they actually won it like 2 years in a row. That was botched.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you were late. I fell asleep. You made me get up from my relaxing nap. It was horrible.
Yeah. But you're ready to do the pod now. And Ada's looking
Yeah.
at her phone.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was responding to very important messages.
About your secret business
Super secret, yes.
that will be announced
You'll find out in 7 days.
Announced on a future pod.
Maybe.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, long story short, Taco Bell, at least at this location, is not fast food. Is it worth the wait? I don't know. I will say that the Baja Blast slushy is pretty good. I did get Baja Blasted.
Okay.
Why are you going to Taco
That
Bell?
doesn't sound good.
It was right
Makes
there
sense.
across from the hardware store.
You just sound like the guy in Scrubs that's like telling the freaking doctors like, "What do you mean I shouldn't have eaten the sushi? It came free with the fill-up."
Yeah, that's me. It was right there. Well, we didn't feel like cooking either, and I don't know. Just like fast food it's not cheap anymore.
But did you feel a desire to return in
Taco
the
Bell?
future?
Not
Yeah.
particularly. Maybe for
Okay.
some slushy Baja Blast, but that's about it. Well, I don't go to Taco Bell very often, so when I went there with my friend, I was like, would it be weird if I went up and was like, so, what's good here? At the fucking Taco Bell.
More importantly, you didn't comment on my Jennifer
Can't
Lopez
even
shirt.
see it.
Come
This
on.
is
Jennifer.
Jennifer, and then it's all blurry, and it looks like Asia Wilson. So
Don't you just love my
Yeah, you
clothes?
should just get an Asia Wilson shirt. Best player in the league.
I've had Taco Bell in over 20 years.
That's probably the right decision.
I have no desire to eat there.
Yeah, but what about the Taco Bell Cantina where you can actually get booze?
I have no desire to eat there.
You have no desire for a Baja Blast margarita?
No, sounds disgusting. Sounds like it's been in the restroom all day.
Oh, God. You know who spent a lot of time in the restroom? The restroom of the internet was XAI's Grok chatbot. Did you hear about what was going on with that?
No.
Didn't it start become like Hitler?
Super anti-Semitic, super racist.
Grok is now Hitler?
No, Grok is now Mecha Hitler.
Uh,
That's what
Yeah.
Grok says.
So what is Elon doing to train it in this fashion?
Well, what Elon claims is that the model was too susceptible to user suggestion. So like it was really easy for people on X to just manipulate it into saying these things. But you think there would be safeguards for it. But it just like got to the point where it was people were asking it, like, what figures would you trust to combat like anti-white discrimination? Or like, oh, hands down Hitler. Like Hitler does the best job. And well, like someone's like asking this stuff like, oh, if you had to choose between identifying as Giga Jew or Mecha Hitler, well, which would you be? And Grok's like, oh, Mecha Hitler.
So what did Elon do? Like basically say, just think like Elon?
I don't know, but did you notice that the CEO of X stepped down after that?
Yes,
We
I
have a
did notice
CEO. It's
that.
not Elon.
It hasn't been for 2 years. I try to stay away from Twitter X, but again, I've started a new account just to look at it.
What happened to your old account?
I deleted it. I delete it, and then I stay off for a while, and then I'm like, some of these things I have to look them up on X,
Yeah, it
and so I
was such a
reactivate.
breakthrough when you got off, but now you're back.
Some research is really only available on X,
What research?
like just certain things that are right-wing talking points.
How is that research? What do you mean research?
I need to understand the right-wing talking points and how to push
You can
back.
understand how Charlie Kirk determined that the flooding was DEI as well.
What?
The response.
Yeah. You didn't hear
No.
about this, Justin? He stated that it was a DEI problem because the Austin fire chief is an African American.
The fire
Austin.
chief?
Yes.
How?
Yes,
What does the
in
fire
Austin.
chief have to do with this?
But also Austin, dude. This didn't happen in Austin. This happened in
Do
Kerrville and
people know
Comfort.
how far away Austin is from Kerrville?
Apparently Charlie Kirk does not, but he tried to find the closest big city DEI hire and blamed it on them.
What does the fire chief have to do
I
with
don't know.
flooding?
Because apparently he supposedly waited too long to deploy like 3 rescue swimmers or something.
From
Yeah.
Austin. Like, I don't know. I think that there is a lot of finger pointing. I think it's way too early. We should have a federal investigation. And it's more of an investigation to determine how we can do things better in the
Yeah.
future, not to finger point.
There was this one institute, I don't remember what it was called, but they basically did some research saying that FEMA's floodplain data has been just like not whole for decades. And they've suggested that they follow their model because it only doesn't really account for flash floods in terms of where those flood maps are. It accounts for like ocean surges and stuff like that, which might not even be relevant in a place like Kerrville.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you look at it from a political standpoint and you just want to be a jerk and figure point, you could do that, but I don't think that that's productive. I think that we need to do an investigation so that we can determine how to improve. And it shouldn't be political. It should just be how can we improve in the future because we are going to continue to have events like this throughout the
Now you
country.
sound exactly like a Republican, but I remember when those wildfires happened. They're incompetent, and it was all these things that were because of the Democrats, and now you can't say anything.
I think it was wrong then. Like, it should always be wrong to politicize and finger point. Like, we should focus on real solutions. We should do it in a bipartisan fashion. And, like, honestly, I don't even know how you can politicize it if you have a heart because I saw a picture of a couple today that died, and I was just like, man, those could have been my grandparents. Like, I don't know. I'm already crying right now.
Yeah.
It's just horrible. Like, how can you even think about finger pointing? Like, these people lost their lives in a terrible manner.
It's not just grandparents, like all those kids, children,
Yeah.
small children, not even high school
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
That's why we're done as a society. America's over. Justin called it episode 1.
not-
It took you. It
not
took you
over.
over
We-
6 months.
No, it's done. People will believe anything, will shift their narrative to whatever the administration says. People have no heart. This country's finished.
I don't think that's true that people don't have a heart.
It's very true.
I think we gotta just keep fighting and talking to people. And I think at the end of the day, when you're behind your computer screen, it's a lot different than when you're face to face with
Hmm.
people.
I don't know. People have been
Yeah.
emboldened. I've seen the same kind of chatter in my actual life now. So I mean,
Yeah.
no, it's not just behind the computer screen anymore. These people believe that they have a mandate and they're right and they don't care. And they're gonna lie to your face just like Trump and Carolyn Levitt. They're just gonna say, "Nope, we didn't say that," even though they did. You can show them the videos and no, you misinterpreted it. You're wrong. So I
Yeah.
mean, we're done. It's simple as that. Like people just don't care anymore. Like they don't care about what's actually right. They don't care about facts. All they care about is owning libtards, magtards, and saying somehow it has to do with God. I don't know. I don't see the way back. I don't see it anymore.
Yeah.
I think the way back is we gotta just keep our humanity and our empathy, and we just gotta continue to be kind and not politicize things. And slowly, I think we can change people's
I
hearts.
think the way back has to involve kind of getting involved with algorithms and how these addictive social feeds are not only harmful to children but to adults too. A lot of people are funneled into these single-minded contexts, and it's so hard to pull anyone out of it, or to even get anyone to come close to seeing someone else's perspective, to seeing someone else's side. And the thing that is most popular on those platforms, or the most outrageous, they're the things that scare people. But I think that people do have good hearts, and they do have good intentions. They've been manipulated into being completely scared by enemies that don't exist, by systems that are being that are being completely misrepresented, all for the sake of what, more followers, more influence, more views.
Yeah. Well, but I think if you get into a position where you have the voice and the power, I think you have to start speaking out. Like if your party's politicizing, why not just speak out and say, I'm not going to politicize this like these other people. I'm going to take a stand. Like, that's not right. We're going to do this.
It's because there's too much money in Washington. There's too much power.
I mean, you got to have people who speak up. You got to have people like John McCain, people like that who don't care and will say the right thing, do the right thing. I mean, obviously, not everyone agrees with everything that John McCain did through his career, but I think he's the type that would have said, don't politicize anything like
Hmm.
this. Just show up, show your empathy, show that you want a solution. Do not blame
Yeah. Did you
anyone.
see that video of that KSAT anchor talking about how she was disgusted by the response from Noam and from Abbott, just like thanking Trump and talking about politics just for the beginning of this entire press conference when they just want answers about this flooding.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's hard because is that even the right response to that? I don't know. Like she took a stand for sure, and I think it makes sense. But in order for us to like start making inroads, like is that the right time to say that?
Oh. It's over 100 people dead,
I'm
right?
not sure.
It's the count's still
It's
going up. People are still missing.
it looks like it's going to be over 250 people,
That's horrible.
honestly. Yeah.
That's even worse than a lot of the hurricane death tolls, isn't it?
I think Helene was around 250 because I was looking it up. Um, but yeah, right now there's a lot of unknown. There's a thought that maybe Kirk County could have had a siren system that they didn't have, they couldn't afford. But I don't know, man, because I mean, you all know that we get alerts and we don't necessarily
Pay attention.
do anything about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Hey, when I get the tornado warning, I go to the basement. Okay, I put the cat in the cat
Do
carrier.
you?
You know, the cat comes with me.
Is
Yeah,
that
it's
true?
true. They say get away
Okay.
from the windows.
I don't know if I would have done that. I mean, I guess if they're telling me that a tornado is going to hit, then I would definitely go into the basement. Do all the people in your building go to the
Yeah.
basement too? Okay. But I feel like we get flash flood warnings very
Hmm.
often. The siren system that they're talking about, I think that that's like a lot more intermittent
Hmm.
and would not be sirening for every flash flood. But I wonder how much that would have changed. Like, I think it would have changed
Yeah.
some, but I still think that some people wouldn't have got out in time.
Yeah, but you probably could have mitigated the damage on people's families, right? I mean, it wouldn't
Yeah,
be
I
nearly
think
this many
so.
people missing if there was that kind of response and that kind of action plan.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the only thing that I've thought might be something that could be
Yeah.
improved.
Um,
But, if your small county doesn't have the money, what's the answer to that?
Federal funding that they want to
Yeah.
cut and restrict. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of sickening to see the politicization of events like this. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that there was that horrific plane crash around D.C. and then people wanted to
Yeah.
make it a DEI thing, blame it on failures of the previous administration, while also reducing funding for training and recruiting more air traffic controllers.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah. But I still think that we should stay away from focusing on things like that, at least in the immediate period. Like, this is just super tragic. People are grieving.
Yeah,
I feel like even people who didn't know anyone who died are grieving. Like, it's that
yeah.
bad. Like, we really should have like a grace period or
Hmm.
something. Like, let's not talk about any of
Yeah,
this stuff until a month from now.
yeah. I mean, people are hurting, but people are also into the super sensationalized news of it all. Like I was hearing that
Yeah.
there was a horrible highway accident in South Texas where this guy was just eviscerated, and the family,
I didn't even know that because I don't
yeah,
want to
but
look at
the
it.
family like had to file a cease and desist with some lawyers to get people to stop sharing that stuff. People were just trying to share like
Yeah.
this guy getting brutally killed on the highway for what?
Yeah, that whole story has many layers to it. Um, I think as an ER doctor, I am afraid to be parked on the side of the expressway and get out because I've seen things like that. But at the same time, like this poor guy as a tow truck driver, what option did he have?
He's just doing his job.
Yeah, if there's an immobile vehicle, what can he do? Like, should we implement laws like to have some type of police like barrier set up or something in a situation
I mean,
like this?
does Texas have something like Scott's Law?
Where you're supposed to drive a little further away, like get out of
Yeah,
that lane?
or slow down.
Well, they do, but at the same time, this person was intoxicated that ran into this man. So that's why I wonder if you should consider laws like if the vehicle is not able to be moved out the expressway, should you call for a police escort? Or, I mean, I'm not sure what the terminology would be, but like police to set up like some type of
I think in general,
barrier.
like public safety needs to improve regarding driving in South Texas. I've seen the way people drive down there.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, he already had the car. It was already loaded onto his truck. It sounds like he was either just verifying that it was secured or already walking back to leave. So it was just
Yeah.
the timing of it all. Because I passed by at that time and I saw the truck. Once I saw the photos, like, yeah, I saw that truck was already loaded on the guy's flatbed. So that means he was pretty much done. Which means, like I said, either he was just securing making sure the vehicle was secure and just walking back to leave, and during that split second, the car that was being chased hit him. So, I mean, it wasn't about not being able to get the car. Like, he had already finished his job.
Yeah. No, but it's just the fact that people are out there in a dangerous area without protection, like standing by a vehicle either because they're verifying what they're doing or they're changing a tire.
Well,
Like, and I've seen it in other places. It's not just a South Texas thing.
I don't think we have the resources to for every single stopped vehicle on the side of the road. I mean, sometimes like highway patrol will just come and drive by,
Yeah.
and maybe we'll be in the area just for support if they're around. But
Yeah.
I don't know, like, is every single tow truck driver going to have to call to have police to create a barrier around
Yeah.
them every time for who knows when they can get there?
Yeah.
When a lot of these law enforcement
Yeah.
branches are spread thin to begin with?
Yeah, that's a good point. But I wonder if you have to first exhaust your options and tell people they have to get their vehicle off the expressway if possible. Like, really, for a lot of situations, you probably could get it off the expressway.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think, Nathan? Do you think a lot of these vehicles that are off on the expressway could be moved off?
It just depends what happens to the vehicle. I mean, if it doesn't run, what choice do you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a flat tire or something, you could like obviously decide like, you know what, I don't care if the rim gets damaged. I'm gonna get somewhere where I know I can work on this safely. But
Yeah.
if your car doesn't move, what choice do you have? You either just abandon it or you have to have people help you move it.
Yeah.
And either way, somebody's still gonna take a risk. So like in this
Yeah.
situation, it seems like that vehicle, for whatever reason, I don't, if he picked it up on the highway, probably just didn't run anymore. Like that's where it stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I would only be considering that for a situation where you can't move it at all.
Yeah. I still don't know where people get off just sharing a video like that.
I think people like to watch gore.
But of like real people, I mean, I
What?
understand in like movies, that's made up,
Yeah.
that's make believe. That's not actually happening to people, but like this is like a real dude with a life and with a job and with a family.
I mean, people have curiosity about gore. That's why you had people sharing videos of that journalist that was beheaded.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that was ago,
Like people
but
like leaking like the Kobe helicopter crash photos.
It's just
yeah.
the lack of respect that people have nowadays. Because I was able to see one of the videos that somebody shared. It's literally somebody driving on the frontage recording, and then you could see
Oh,
his,
I don't even
you
want to
see
hear
the
this.
legs separated from the torso, and I'm like, why did you decide that you needed to record this as you were driving by,
Yeah.
and then to post it online? Like you already saw it with your eyes. Nobody else needs to see it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and I will say that even as an ER doctor, like I don't see that much gore because people that are that traumatized, they don't make it to the
Yeah.
ER. It's the paramedics who really see the really bad stuff because they see the people who have no chance of
Hmm.
making it.
if that happens to you, you pretty much like die instantly, or would you have felt something?
Well, it depends. I think that you're going to feel something immediately, but the question is, did he have a head injury that knocked him out right away? If not, he might have been conscious for a
Yeah.
while, at least for a minute
Before
or
the blood
so,
loss.
until he
Yeah.
bled out.
Ugh. Well, it doesn't seem like it would be something where you had a head injury, so that sucks. Even worse if you actually like just laid there knowing that there's no way you're gonna recover.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably pretty quick, though, if he had that much trauma that he bled out pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yes, it was completely separated. So
Yep.
that's massive trauma.
And don't people just like pass out from
Yeah.
extreme pain too a lot of the time?
You can, yeah. I don't want to think about that. And I don't want to even look for the video or I don't want to see it.
Well,
No,
the
you do
fam,
not want to see
yeah,
it.
the family doesn't want people to see it either. Like respect for the dead. Let them rest in peace. Don't get your fucking like ambulance chaser agenda. People trying to go and find videos like this and share it at the most extreme parts of the internet. But even then, like, it's not even the most extreme parts of the internet that people want to share the stuff on anymore.
Yeah, it was on my Facebook feed. Like that's
Yeah,
how I saw this. And like I think by the time the cease and desist came, like Facebook had already filtered and was taking it off. Like they were removing it.
I don't know, man. If it has any utility, I think maybe some people who see it will realize that they need to be a lot better drivers. They need to avoid drinking
yeah.
and driving and need to be really careful when they see someone on the side of the road
I
working.
don't think people are going to avoid drinking and driving in South Texas anytime soon.
I just think that you should realize that you wouldn't want your family to be exploited like that, or if
Yeah,
your family went through that, for that to be the last image that many people see.
yeah,
So, I mean, it's just, I think,
Yeah.
common courtesy. Like, no way should you ever share something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking more about it's a really sad situation for the family to lose their family member like that. Like,
yeah,
I mean, this guy's just a hard worker, I'm sure, doing his job, and they expected him to come home. He expected
yeah.
to go home that day, and he didn't get to.
Maybe the next step in all of this is just empathy education. Just start training people to think, okay, how would I feel if this happened to me? Like just that first step.
Well, there's so much that
Just
has
that
to be.
first step, how do
Yeah.
you educate people to start thinking about that?
We're a
Without it,
long way.
yeah, without people
We're a
thinking it's like
long way away
political
from that.
or like that the new Superman movie is woke or whatever.
We're a very long way ways away from that, though. People don't care right now. We've gotten to the point where, well, at least in this country, I don't live in another country, so I wouldn't be able to comment on it. But people got to the point where the only thing that matters is what affects you, and how, I don't know how you bridge that gap.
Yeah, I think that a lot of it is starting at the very beginning, reforming our education system. And it even comes down to reading. There's data that when you read fiction, when you read novels, you become more empathetic. So getting away from reading, getting away from like one-to-one connection is affecting us.
Oh, yeah.
So
Doesn't
I don't
seem like
know.
our education's going
I
to get
mean,
better anytime soon. Didn't we just completely gut the Department of Education? Aren't we
well, I
trying to
mean
squash Harvard
that,
University?
yeah. I mean, some things are not making sense, and I think we need to get elected officials who understand that education needs to be reformed and that we need to be a lot more creative and innovative in education to make a better society. But yeah, I think we just need creative and innovative individuals in elected office. That's all I can say.
Easy to say, a lot harder to implement.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard work. We have to get people in office who understand that we have a lot of work to do, but it's possible.
You know,
I'm not keeping my fingers
Justin says
crossed.
no.
we can all have a dream.
Yes, I'm a big
Yeah.
dreamer for sure.
I think it starts with, just reconnecting with your community, the people around you. It's getting off. I really think a lot of it is getting off the phones and just being like
Yeah,
shown this world right in front of your face that actually has nothing to do with the world that's directly around you. And it's
yeah,
easy to think that everything's going to shit, that, we're in this crime infested country and we have to be saved by one political party or the other. But if you take a step back and look at your everyday life, like things don't change that much for you as a person on a day to day basis based on who's in office.
yeah.
I think,
Yeah, but when you talk about that, you could easily implement into education people going out into the community,
yeah,
volunteering, serving, going to a nursing home, going to a hospital, and really seeing people and helping people. I mean, it's not that hard.
yeah, you just go.
But right now we but right now we have a system where teachers are not allowed to be innovative because they have to teach to the STAR test in Texas
Hmm.
at least. We have to get away from teaching to the
Well, that's been
test.
voted to be phased
And,
out.
yeah, but they still want to have some other testing system put
Yeah,
in.
of course, but I mean, this test was a complete disaster. You had many kids growing up completely overwhelmed, having anxiety for test taking because it's all they went through
Hmm.
for their entire elementary to high school
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
Well, the teachers are saying that the replacement doesn't sound great either.
This is just more of the same. Like, what would be different about it? What's the replacement?
I don't have the details
I
on
feel
it.
you should
I'd have to talk to the teachers
just go
about it
back to
more.
the old test that we had when we were growing up. It never felt like it was that important to the teachers back then.
Yeah, I always felt like my
Yeah.
teachers in public school growing up were just kind of like, we have to teach this for you because like we have to cover it as part of it. Even if you were in like a level of math that was more advanced than what you would learn on that test, they're like, we have to dedicate a couple of days to this. So we're gonna get through
Yeah.
it. It
I remember growing up, it was only a couple of weeks, and it was like just leading up to like right when we were going to take it. The rest of the year wasn't focused on that test at all.
The thing is that the more you make any testing tied to funding, it's just not going to be great. You need to completely untie testing from funding as far as things like the STAR test or TOS test or whatever other tests. If you want to tie things to funding, tie how many people pass the AP exam to funding. Tie like your SAT and ACT averages to
Yeah, but there's
funding.
so many people who are not taking those exams. And there's so many people who aren't even the majority of the students in the schools that we went to in South Texas are not in AP courses. So how would you tie funding to that if you don't even have the amount of people enrolled in these courses be sufficient?
Yeah.
We might be able to tie it to the ACT and SAT, but not to the AP.
Well, you could just say, like, for the people who are in AP classes, if you get this many fours, this many fives, whatever, then you get extra funding. Like, basically, have measures that actually matter. AP exams, SAT scores, ACT
Yeah.
scores. Not stupid things like the
Well,
STAR
I
test.
feel
didn't
like
one of you go
you open
ahead?
up a can of worms there that you wouldn't want to open though, because you're gonna get some areas where like even with their best efforts, they're not gonna get these scores, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be like, oh well, you don't deserve this funding.
Well, how about you just don't remove funding, but you get additional funding if you perform on AP exams and
I
SAT
mean,
exams,
there's
things like
also a
that.
world where that creates massive funding gaps between the
Yep.
more affluent cities and suburbs, and then the poorer
Yeah.
communities that don't have the bandwidth or the resources in order to improve scores in that area are just going to be left behind.
Yeah.
More like maybe it should be where if you can get a certain percentage of your students who actually take these exams, that you can get additional funding. That way
Or
they
just
have
even
incentive.
try.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes you
Yeah.
just need them to try. I mean, some of these kids maybe don't want to do it, but maybe they score well, or maybe they don't, and maybe they're
Hmm.
motivated to get a higher score than the second
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Versus like, I'm just not going to do it because I have no interest
Yeah.
in it.
Or let's talk to teachers and see what ideas they have
Yeah.
that would make sense, that would both improve performance and not decrease their
Yeah. I
funding.
think one of you had shared that that area of South Texas has some of the lowest educational attainment and lowest educational outcomes out of anywhere in the US. So, having been people who grew up in this school system and now are raising children in this school system, what do you feel could be improved?
I think that you don't have the focus on reading like we used to. I think there's too much focus on accelerated reader and like get as many words as possible, and they're not focusing on quality of what they're reading. So I think you have to focus on quality of what they're reading and not gamifying it. And my kid doesn't take STAR tests, so I don't really know about that. But I think any teaching to a STAR test or any type of test where the teachers are afraid and basically are just teaching to a test is just a bad idea.
I feel like the school shouldn't be responsible for the reading part of the curriculum. I feel like they're just there to make sure they get to certain benchmarks. I really feel like for reading, parents need to instill that. I said, you said that your daughter didn't really enjoy reading until she started finding books that she actually enjoyed. And I kind of feel like that's the way we grew up. Like we had books at home. I remember staying up late reading, but it was stuff that we had. It
Hmm.
wasn't necessarily stuff that I had to read for school. It's like I
Yeah,
wanted
like
to
the
read
Bible.
this. No, like the Indian in the cupboard, all the Roald Dahl stuff. There was a lot of stuff that, like I said, and even if it was from the school, like I had checked it out. Like I thought it
Hmm.
was an interesting looking book, so I picked it out and I read it. It wasn't really like the only reading I did for that, my actual courses were whatever was on my homework. Like if I had to read a passage and analyze it and stuff like that was yeah. But like I said, almost everything else that I read was stuff that I chose.
Hmm. But how does this literacy at home and encouraging reading at home get kickstarted if you're already in a school district where the parents probably didn't get that same encouragement and didn't develop that relationship to reading? You know, it is cyclical. It has to start somewhere.
It's kind of like the same thing I'm seeing right now with like my example is going to be how nobody coaches their kids anymore. And like I'm guilty of this. Like every time we put our daughters in the league, there's not enough coaches. So I was like, if we do this again, I'm going to do it. But it's going to have to be more parents like me or
Hmm.
Ada having to try to be out there and be like, hey, like trying to start something, some program where kids actually get interested in reading. It doesn't have to be on the teachers or necessarily other parents because, like you said, maybe they didn't grow up that way. It has to be us as a community trying to help each other.
Yeah. I mean, because for us, I think we had a head start because our parents were very interested in literacy and started us reading when we were 3 years old and bought us books with what little money they had. Um, and a lot of kids didn't have that. And I think now it's even less so when people are going away from reading.
Yeah, the iPad babies.
I mean, look at all the books that I have.
And how many of them have you
Like, I
read?
am obsessed with books. I read a lot of them, but I have a queue of things that I want to read after I'm done with law school. But I don't know if I'm going to have time because I'm going to be really
Tell the
busy in
truth.
general
Those
for a
all came
while.
with the house.
They did not come from the house.
Oh, but
They,
that reminds me though. So my wife has been listening to the pod, and she's I think somewhere in February. You're about to lose. You're supposed to take us all to Hawaii because you're not going to have 200 pages of a novel in 1 month. So the deadline's coming up. You're finished.
I have more
Start
than
No, you
100.
planning.
don't. No.
Hey Nathan, what beaches do you want to go to? Have you thought about it yet?
I'm going to start looking it up as soon as this pod's over. I'm going to go to all the parts of Hawaii that we haven't gone to yet.
Yeah, we should go to Big Island where they film some of like Jurassic Park and stuff. No, it's
Yeah.
not Big Island. Did they do? They
Oahu.
did some stuff on Big Island too, right?
Yeah, but Oahu has actually had a lot of
Yeah, we
movies
did
filmed
that
there.
tour already.
I was not there.
We could do it again. Zip line.
Oh, oh.
Go down there where we did Skull Island, all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you could go to Big Island. There's a lot of hiking. There's a lot of like coffee places. There's Kona Brewing. If you've had Kona Brewing Company's beers, they have like a brewery there too, where they have beers in house that they don't sell. They just like make them there.
Well, like I said,
Yeah, sounds like I'm going to be writing
no,
very soon.
we already knew nothing was going to happen.
No, but we have to go to all the islands now.
So me and Jesse are going to start discussing,
Yeah,
making plans.
yeah, we're gonna go to like 6 luau's.
Yes. So you can thank my wife for reminding me. She's like, hey, she's not going to make it. I was like, she was never going to make it. This is like,
I'll start writing stream of consciousness.
Like David Foster Wallace and some of those Infinite Jest chapters. No punctuation.
Um, Back to the point.
She's deflecting.
I don't think we can blame the teachers though. Like they're not being allowed to really foster the love of reading because they have to teach to a freaking
Yeah.
test.
And they're also under-resourced too. They only have so much time and so much ability to bring books into the room and discuss them. And I don't know, I'm also getting a sense from folks who have taught for a long time talking to them that just kids are more apathetic now. They care so much less about things, all because, they're spending all this time on the internet, they're getting more depressed, they're worried about being cringe because trying too hard is cringe, and also if you try to be yourself and someone doesn't like that, then that's cringe too. So like you have all of these kids who they're just playing it safe. They're just not going to engage with anything because they're going to be like too cool about it. It's
yeah, I
hard
don't know.
to get them to engage.
Yeah, I don't know how your daughter's being treated at school, but my older daughter has come home crying that she is being bullied when she does really well on exams and the rest of the class doesn't. And I have to explain to her that's not bad for you.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what they have going on at home, and maybe they feel like they're behind. But I was like, you shouldn't worry about it. But it's hard to tell your kid like, oh yeah, just keep doing
Yeah.
well, even though like people are just like talking shit about you.
I mean, I don't know what your experience was growing up and your wife because you guys did well at school at some point.
Who, me?
Your wife was, I'm talking
Oh.
to Nathan, because your wife was top 10, so she did well, at least for a significant period. I dealt with people had a negative reaction because they were uncomfortable with the fact that I was doing so well compared to them. So it's their, like, inferiority complex. So I don't know how you talk to your daughter about that.
Well, that's what I was just saying. I
Like
feel like
they're,
they probably feel like they're inadequate. They have to do
yeah,
something, and if it's a group of kids, of course they're gonna make fun of you. And she cries. She's like, "Oh, I'm different." I was like, "Everybody's different, but like,
Yeah,
why would you want to get low grades to fit in at the end of the day?" Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I was. It's
Well,
there's something to be said about being an outlier.
yeah,
To overcome being in situations and environments that are known for their low educational attainment and for people just never leaving or being able to achieve a whole lot
Yeah.
and just doing something exceptional with that. But you don't
Yeah.
have that perspective when you're
Uh,
what, like 8 years old.
well, I ignored Justin somehow. Like, did you experience that? Because you also did really
It was
well at
hard to
school.
tell too. Like growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, like we were like isolated, so we only ever saw people at school. So that was kind of that. Never got to participate in sports and do a lot of those things with other people, but I don't know. I feel like once you're in like the pre-AP and AP classes in middle school and high school, you're kind of around people who care about their grades. I'm not gonna say like similar attainment because there was still a range within there.
Yeah. I dealt with some people that said it was unfair that I had gotten a higher grade because I had
What?
studied. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not
Yeah,
unfair. That's how it works.
yeah,
I just remember when I finally got to the same school as Ada, which was only 1 year, which when I was a sophomore, they'd always make fun of her because I was like a little person carrying the super heavy backpack, like hunched over all the time. And she'd be like, "F you, I'm gonna be a doctor."
and it happened.
I don't think that I said that for a while though, because I didn't decide that until senior year.
Yeah, that was the only year we were. I literally just said this.
Oh, was it senior
That's the
year?
only time we were in the
Okay.
same school at the end. Like
Oh,
once we were in high
okay.
school, like I said, like freshman year, we had that weird only freshman campus. So then sophomore year, we were in the same campus. I remember, like, that's your sister? And they make funny. It was like you'd be like, "I'm gonna be a doctor. You guys are stupid."
What's this?
Well, I will say that I actually had a confidence, and I was kind of an asshole about it sometimes.
Was past tense?
Is
I think I'm better about it now. If I would have been in your daughter's position, if I was your daughter, I would just, even at her age, would react with, "Yeah, I'm way smarter than you."
Yeah. I don't understand where this narrative comes from about how it's unfair when you do better than someone because of either your preparation or your experience. I know like my wife was a nurse for 3 years before going to medical school. So she had all of this experience of being in the hospital and just like how to not be a dumbass when it came to doing things clinically. And sometimes the people who go to med school, they've never had a real job in their lives. They've gone straight from high school, college to med school, and they don't know anything like that. And at least once there was a student who's just like, "Oh, it's not fair that you know all of this stuff." It's like, what? Like she worked for 3 years. She got a whole other
Yeah,
degree in order to specifically be a nurse before this.
yeah, yeah. Having had my experience, if I would have been in that position, I would have respected it. Like it's, I just got to work harder.
or you could ask for advice from that
I,
person.
yeah, it is what it is. You could have a good attitude about it. Like I got to work harder, or maybe I should be her friend and learn from her.
But some people don't have that perspective. Some people just want to be haters.
Called envy.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has some envy to some extent, but I think some people know how to deal with it a lot
Hmm.
better. I think for me, I never really look at a situation as unfair. If I'm behind, if I'm an underdog, I just got to work hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of the reality of the world in terms of the ways that you got to compete. I was thinking about this in terms of and being like a sound professional, where like you could make your own sound effects, you could make your own music, but some people will always just go for the free option, find a resource online, get some AI generated thing, and sure, like you could say that that's unfair, but then that also makes me feel like, well, that then I need to make sure that what I put out is better than that. Like that's just like what like
Yeah.
I have to improve.
Well, as my daughter says, we're just built different.
What, does she say that? In what
Yeah.
context does she say that?
I don't know. I'll say, wow, you did really well on that. I was just built different.
Sounds like it's from the internet.
And I think she's gonna be saying they hate us because they ain't us.
Probably. I mean, I think it's good to have confidence, but healthy
Yeah.
confidence. And like I said, I don't whine about having a disadvantage. Like, I just don't. Like, that's just not how I think. I just think I've got to surpass it somehow.
Well, that's kind of what you should just be teaching your children in general. I mean,
Yeah.
life's unfair, and if you're gonna cry about it, I mean, all that's gonna happen is your life's gonna be a lot harder.
Well, I also think that actually our dad told me that life's unfair. So I internalized that.
He also said that he would like whoop your ass. Not you.
You specifically?
Uh,
Maybe?
No comment.
don't you remember when Dad
Right.
had the ringtone of the guy singing the song like I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
Did he really have that?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Sometimes like if he didn't answer the phone, like you'd hear the whole song.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of it's really back to the basics. Like, maybe people are not teaching their kids basic things. Like, life's unfair. Like, just work hard. Just control what you can control.
Yeah, well, that gets you back to the whole thing of entitlement, where there's some people that just believe that they should get something because they did a certain thing versus actually having earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a professor, even in grad school, who was like, yeah, like people who do this program, it takes them like 3 years to like find their footing. I'm like, the fuck? 3 years? Like that's crazy talk. Like people are paying money, going into debt in order to get this degree, and you're like, oh yeah, that's just how it is. It like takes them like 3 years to find out what they're doing. And you know how we responded to that? It was like, fuck that. We're gonna make our own company. We're gonna try to market. We're gonna
Yeah.
try and build relationships with people that we've worked with before and reach out to new communities and try to become a part of them and try to get contracts. And you know, we're in the first year of this business and it's hard, and of course we're not where we want to be, but we're in a pretty decent spot for just being a company for 6 months. You know,
Yeah.
but meanwhile, like, are there people who are taking that at face value and thinking, "Oh, okay, like I'll just trust the process, and in 3 years I'll finally like have my role and figure out what I want to do." Like, no, like take control of your shit, dude.
Is that part of what we should teach in K through 12? Resiliency?
I mean,
Take
how do you
care of your
teach it?
shit.
Take care of your shit.
Yeah, but like you said, it's also a cycle, right? So if your parents don't know how to be resilient, how are they going to teach that properly?
I mean, that's with anything. Like, you kind of go through the same things your family goes through most of the
Hmm.
time. Like, that's why you end up with people that just keep being alcoholics, people
Yeah,
that end up being divorced, people that end up abusing children. Like, those kind
yeah,
of things, like, you go through those things, and even though you probably didn't like them happening to you or didn't like them at the time, it's normalized to you. So, in effect, most people continue down that road. It's really hard to break those cycles.
Yeah. But I also think that there is a lot more that K through 12 could do. If teachers had the ability to do things that don't just teach it to a test. And that's why I think on multiple levels it's a bad thing to teach to a test.
Well, I think a really good teacher could get around that. There's always a way. It just depends on the quality of the instructor.
Yeah. I think that we have a lot of really good teachers though. Like, I really don't think we have a bunch of bad teachers
hmm
out there. I think we have a lot of good teachers who are under
yeah,
resourced and who have to fit their curriculum to a certain structure, and there's not a lot of room to innovate.
Life's not fair.
yeah. Take care of your shit.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of things that are not in our control. Like whether or not you have subscribed to or rated this podcast 5 stars or shared it on all the platforms. We cannot control that what platform you listen on, whether that's Amazon, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts. You know, we can't control if you respond to us at casadecavasospod@gmail.com or visit our website at casadecavasos.com. You know, but you take care of your shit. We'll take care of our shit. We'll continue making this podcast. We'll keep on talking, and we'll see you later.